Hello everyone, welcome to Trib's art class today. Now I have this piece right here in my little handy dandy sketchbook that I've been working on. You might remember the piece I did before. It's this piece, and now I'm moving on to this piece. And this one's kind of one I've been thinking about a lot lately with the content. It says, what would the world be if our words only brought life? There's life. And it's an idea that I've been thinking of for a while. Like, what would the world really look like if every word that we spoke out of our mouths was life-giving? Like, what type of world would that be? And it's something like I want to challenge myself with. I want to challenge other people with. I want to challenge my students with, to try to be that kind of person, that type of quality of a human, which is pretty amazing if we can ever do that. Now, of course, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to have good days, we're going to have bad days, but imagine what type of legacy we would leave behind if we practiced that idea and truly followed through. So I think about that like with friends. I think about that with family. I think about that with social media. So many people love just to get on social media and just say anything. And it really makes me think, like, what is in their heart if that's the stuff that spews out when no one's watching? It's almost like the old idea of integrity. I always heard that integrity is who you are when no one is watching. And a lot of times social media gives people a platform to say things when no one is watching or when they are completely anonymous. So the things we say on social media, the things that we say when we think no one is watching, and maybe they're not, the things we say when we can be completely anonymous, it really shows what's in our hearts. It shows our integrity. It shows our true character. Years ago, my buddies and I, when we were pretty young, we were undergrads in college, we were goofing around with all of our friends, and we were prank calling them and just being silly and using silly voices, and not being inappropriate or anything, but just having fun. And eventually we let our friends know that it was really us, and we were just being goofballs, kind of how silly guys in college do. And then we called one of our friends, and we were calling people all night long, and we would talk in a silly voice and then let them know it was us. But we called one of our friends, and she just completely started cussing. She's using very, very choice profanity, just going off. And we were totally surprised. We were like, whoa, we never thought that girl would speak like that. Needless to say, we didn't tell her who we were. We just hung up the phone. But it kind of let us see a little bit of like who she was when she didn't think anyone she knew was observing her. So we probably shouldn't have been prank calling people, but hey, we're just prank calling our friends and having fun. Sometimes we have fun in life and we're silly, and that's okay, as long as you're not harming anyone. But who we are when no one else is watching, man, that is the challenge. Who are we when no one else is watching? If you're on the highway in a different town and someone cuts you off, do you have a forgiving attitude and heart, or do you just harvest anger in your mind against that person? So that's kind of the point of this piece. What would the world be if our words only brought life? Now, life's an interesting idea, and in case you're wondering what I'm doing with this piece right now, I'm just going through and some people might say, well, it's done already, but I want to go through and really see what else can I add. And one strategy I like to apply in art is to ask myself the question, not how fast until I'm done, but how much more can I add? That's my goal, is can I add anything else? Because if I can add anything to improve the piece at all, I want to. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. And there is that temptation, there's always that temptation to just be done. Like, I want to be done. I've been working on this for a while, I want to be done. There's joy that comes with just continuing a piece. And I always like to think of it as like a good video game. If you're playing a really good video game that you just really enjoy, you don't want to just beat it and be done. You want to try to unlock everything that you can. You want to try to master it. And I kind of apply the same idea when it comes to art. Patience is such a key part to art making. Okay, now I'm looking at my line work here. And there's areas that can be improved. I already went over all the words to kind of make those pop a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and go over some of these lines. Now, originally I used a ruler to make these, but I'm pretty confident that if I'm just very careful, I can make them thicker without having to use a straight edge. There we go. And just making that black line a little bit thicker just kind of makes it pop just a little bit more. I'll do that with the purple. And then let's do it with the brown. And this is the part of art that a lot of people don't see, just putting on the finishing touches. And you might be interested in why am I doing this? Why am I doing these drawings? Well, number one, I enjoy it. Number two, I always want to improve, and one of the best ways to improve is just to create. But also what I do with these is I scan them and I put them on t-shirts and sell them right now on Redbubble. So feel free to check out my Redbubble sites where you can buy this as a t-shirt once I'm all done. And eventually I'll also be creating a published sketchbook that will have all of these in there as well. So it'll be a collection of my artwork that I do on paper. I'm debating if I want to put my digital artwork on there as well, or if I just want to stick with paper. So we went over that line, making sure I got all of those. I'm gonna go over this a little bit to clean up that red where the marker went out. The line a little bit, I can adjust that. So you can really clean a lot of stuff up with just your line work. Okay, so now we're going to think about shading. Is there any areas that I can go a little bit darker? Maybe with the cross hatching and the hatching. One thing I want to share with all of you listening as well is this common idea that some of you are pressured to fall into, and that is the idea of constantly being busy. Now, there's some people that aren't busy at all, and they really don't do much with their lives, but I'm not talking to those people. If you're watching this drawing tutorial or this vlog here, you're probably more of an ambitious person trying to engulf yourself around art. So I'm talking to those people that you don't want to confuse your life or your identity with what you do. Okay, life is so much more than what you do or what you might do or what you're going to do. So many times that's like a struggle, especially with young people, is what am I going to do with my life? And then they try to make that their identity. I don't know if you remember these shirts, but they were popular shirts when I was in high school. They would say things like, baseball is life, or soccer is life, or football is life. And it's like, well, that's cool. It's super awesome to have a hobby and something that you're passionate about. But in reality, it's not life. Life is so much more. A good movie that really explains this in an artistic way is the movie, what's it called? Oh, I can't think of what it's called. But it's about a jazz musician who's a teacher. It's on Disney Plus right now. I can't think of what it's called. But yeah, check that movie out. It's pretty powerful. But kind of the idea is that life is so much more than what you do. It's important. It's important to find your calling. But you're more important than just your calling. Like, you have life. You've been given this gift of life. And some people might have a calling to maybe I don't know, be an athlete. Some people might have a calling to be a doctor, or to be a really good parent. But life's more than just doing that one thing. You're not just existing to do that one thing all the time. You're so much more than just doing something. Okay? You've been given life. You have the gift of life. You can enjoy it. Be wise with it. Be responsible with it. I feel like these feet need some like shadow. There we go. And so I'm going to do something fun here. Got my white gel pen. Let's put some little dots here, little white dots. So it's important to find your purpose, your calling, your passion, but also don't forget to go outside and breathe. Don't forget to do something small but valuable. I heard someone say that life happens in the small things. If anyone has a kid, they understand that meaning. Okay, I'm looking through here and I'm thinking, what else could I possibly add? And I kind of want these eyes to be darker. Got a little bit of color pencil in my pen here. Okay. So I'm gonna look away, look back, see what I have going on here. Am I done? Do I want to add anything else? You know, I think that's probably good. That's kind of, I feel like that's enough. That's kind of more than enough. I feel like this piece has really come to a place where it is finally finished. But maybe I can take this and just for the heck of it, a little bit of green tint right there. I don't know why, I just kind of wanted to do that. Maybe right here on this little guy, maybe throw in a little bit more of an eyebrow. Or, not eyebrow, but an eyelid. And yeah, I think that's it. So, well, thanks for hanging out today, everyone. It's cool to be able to do these little drawing vlogs with all of you. And if you want to check this out as a shirt, I'll go ahead and include the t-shirts link below so you can see what it looks like on a shirt. If you want more videos like this, or draw along videos, or art book reviews, or other art related tutorials, go ahead and subscribe. And that'll be it today. So thanks for hanging out. You guys have a great one. Catch you later.